Hey everybody, and welcome to a Good Data live interview here from Data Day Texas 2024. I am joined right now by Ryan Boyd, one of the co-founders of MotherDuck. How are you doing today, Ryan?
Great, and I'm happy to be here with another Ryan.
I know, we got double the Ryan coming at you today. So let's start off with one of the reasons we're doing this interview, of course, is we just announced the availability of our MotherDuck data source connector in Good Data. So you can now use MotherDuck as a data source to build your business intelligence and analytics apps. So we wanted to start then by asking Ryan, what is MotherDuck? What's the MotherDuck story? What does it do? And where do you guys come from?
Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, happy to quack about that for a little bit. DuckDB took the internet by storm. DuckDB made it possible for data scientists and data analysts working locally to use an embedded analytics engine that was powered by SQL. So instead of writing all their code in pandas or what have you, they were able to use SQL. And it's super efficient, created by some of the top researchers in the field of databases, columnar vectorized execution, all of that, but it's really a local story. And so we say, quack local, but fly global. And so how do we with MotherDuck enable you to fly global, right? And so MotherDuck really takes that local embedded analytics engine and makes that available in the cloud. Mm-hmm. But we don't want you to just use the cloud. Every MotherDuck client has a full copy of DuckDB running in it. And we think you should use your local machine in concert with the cloud to get your sharing, get your central data catalog, get your collaboration with all of your colleagues, but also take advantage of that local laptop performance that you have that, frankly is sitting idle for most people, especially in the era of, M1, M2, M3, I guess
Right.
We're at now. So we're bringing it to the cloud, and then, people always ask us, but yeah, it's this embedded analytics engine. Why do I want to use this in the cloud? Well, frankly, DuckDB is so powerful that it can back a data warehouse. So a lot of people are using MotherDuck as their central data warehouse. We have other folks that are using it as a query engine for their lakehouse. So querying out to Parquet files or Iceberg files on S3 or Azure Blob Storage. It's great for that. And even joining that stuff or those tables in your queries with your tables that are already in MotherDuck. And then the last use case, which kind of came a little bit as a surprise to us, but it's been very popular, is around data applications. So SaaS applications that use data for each individual customer to show those customers. So it's highly partitioned data, and DuckDB is really perfect for that.
And that's one of the things that makes us really excited about DuckDB at Good Data, because we have like a highly partitioned BI environment, and this is like, as we continue to build out our DuckDB functionality, I'll say, DuckDB as a data source is kind of the first step. What you're going to see over time is us building more and more, integrating DuckDB into our kind of flex query analytics lake layer that powers Good Data. So let's talk about data apps then for a second. Can you give us some examples of, how does DuckDB make data apps faster and better? What are people using it for in that world?
Sure. So, I'll give you one example. So SaaSworks. SaaSworks is a company that does revenue data analysis for subscription-based businesses. And all of their businesses, though, that are customers of theirs, they want to look at their revenue data, not the revenue data of other customers. And so it's a great use case. They started off using Postgres, as everyone does. They start with their transactional database and try to do their analytics.
Yep.
But then they said, oh wait, we're hitting some scalability limits here. A row-based store is not really the best way of doing analytics. So then they explore all the major data warehouses and they say, yeah, these are great. These will do what we're trying to do. We can build our pipelines on top of these, but from a cost perspective, frankly, it just doesn't make sense for this highly partitioned data. So that's where
Yeah.
DuckDB really comes to the rescue. Is for the highly partitioned data, they can allocate a what we call ducklings. They can allocate ducklings to each of their customers, and so they can actually offer performance for each customer that doesn't impact the performance of other customers.
Right.
That's really an important thing for data apps, is that everyone gets this consistent performance. Now, we can talk about later that also really helps in the data warehouse scenarios too. But so that is one key part of the story, is that with this highly partitioned data, we could be super efficient and serve data for each customer at a time.
Yeah.
But where we think this is going is actually more exciting, and that is powered by WebAssembly and WASM, as some people may call it.
Yeah.
And doing some of that in the client. The customers want their dashboards to be explorable, and to really do that ad hoc analysis and exploration, you want like the 24 frame per second experience. You don't want to move a slider in your dashboard and wait forever. And so that's why we're really excited to see the future there. But today, you can do, good data as of today. You can, have good data power your BI and your applications, and have MotherDuck, be the back end for that.
Yeah.
And we'll keep on, pushing this technology forward to bring more work closer to the user and make it a faster experience.
And that's like, to me, that like when you talk about WebAssembly and the idea that you can do the database processing in browser, like as an analytics person, that's so exciting to me, because now we're starting to talk about a situation where you can take the interactive functionality and have it all occur locally. And what we've been doing for so long is you've got your browser, it's got your BI interface, and like you said, an end user does something. They slide a filter, they click a visualization, queries leave the system, they travel over the network into some data warehouse, or they go to the Amazon East 2 data center and fetches your data, and then comes back in order to answer the result of a tiny tweak you made on a dashboard. And being able to do that locally is such a huge advancement for the end user experience. And it's something we're exploring at GoodData. We're not ready to announce anything yet, but we're looking.
Yeah, I didn't mean to push you into
that.
that.
No, it's good. I mean, it's a very forward-looking thing, right?
Yeah. And we started to do that actually in the MotherDuck UI. Like if you log in the MotherDuck UI, it's a simple query interface. You type your SQL, you see the results. But we have pivot tables that you can pivot your data, sort, filter all your data, all your result set. It's not doing that in JavaScript nowadays. It's actually using DuckDB, using the same SQL syntax locally in the browser.
Yeah.
And so you see pretty instantaneous results there. And I don't know about you, but for me, like data exploration, in yesteryear, could often just get frustrating because it's just slow, and being able to see you instantly, like what, and we'll keep on announcing new features around that really bring that power. But looking forward to working with you guys on that too.
Yeah, it's cool. So what is the future hold for DuckDB? Like what's on the horizon? Where are you taking this thing?
Yeah, I mean, our company at MotherDuck was founded around the idea of, you may have seen the blog post, "Big Data is Dead." Sure, it's a bit of a hyperbole, a little bit of a clickbait, but the foundation there, like, we truly believe it. We truly believe that the compute power that you have available to you has been dramatically improving over time. And so we believe what we call hybrid query execution takes advantage of that local compute with cloud compute. But we can make things simpler, right? A lot of the big vendors are focused on how to make things scale across 10 machines, 100 machines, 1,000 machines.
Right.
We're focused on how do you make things simpler for the users and still provide good performance, but performance isn't enough alone. Like, you really need that simplicity. How quickly can you go from idea to result? Not necessarily from typed query to result.
Right.
So I really think that that's the future. Is we're going to see a lot more focus on simplicity, focus on what do analysts really need out of this system. instead of focusing on what as nerds is super exciting to us of how do we build this large scale distributed compute fabric. It's only so useful for many companies. So that's where we see the future going, and maybe more data comes to the user instead of the data just sitting at the compute side of things. Bandwidth is going to continue to improve. Hopefully egress costs go down over time to allow this to happen. But then, your local compute and cloud compute is just going to get faster and faster. So, we believe in sort of a scale up approach, and it's worked great for us thus far with, sub 10 terabyte use cases. We think that will continue to be the trend.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, congratulations to you and the team. It seems like you guys have been kind of blowing up lately. So has it been a wild ride? What's it like?
Oh yeah, I mean it has been crazy. So we started the company in June of 2022, so a year and a half ago or so, and there's just been so much interest even during what the rest of the market has been very slow, and I think it's a large part is people are recognizing to do these new fancy projects around AI and LLM that they need to have solid underlying data.
Yes.
And there's a lot of interest in the data infrastructure space, and we've gotten preempted on multiple rounds of funding, and we've built an amazing team of folks, veterans from all of the top data companies, and it's just great people to work with. And honestly, that's the number one thing for me. It's like, yes, I'm a geek. I have an engineering background. I like to write code once a day, but it's the people that you work with that matters the most, and that's what we've been having the most fun with. So I just actually came here from one of our offsites, brought the whole team together. We had people on the team and their families like singing on stage and such, and really having fun while also figuring out how to make life easier for the average, data analyst, data engineer.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I mean, we're going to wrap it up there, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Congratulations again, Ryan. It was awesome to have you on here.
Thank you. Well, congratulations to you guys, too, on this connector between the two platforms.
Yeah.
We're really excited.
We're super excited, too. Like our... this is one of those projects where when we greenlit it, our engineers were like so pumped. And
that's the power of DuckDB.
Exactly.
That's the power of the duck. That's the power of the duck. What do they say? You don't choose the duck life chooses you.
Do you have someone on the team who's responsible for the puns, or does it come from everybody?
There are a few people who seem to do them the most, but it was this offsite. We have about 40 people at this offsite. Some of our engineers came up with some amazing puns, and I've used some of them in this this interview. So we're testing out some of the new puns. Let us know what you think.
Cool. So where can people, if they want to get in contact with you, where can they do that?
Yep. So motherduck.com, and the product right now is free. So just sign up. You'll get all your ducklings to use and run your SQL queries. We just launched Fix-It, which makes writing SQL awesome. You don't have to look at the documentation. If you make an error, it will just say, hey, is this what you meant? And it's been perfect for me thus far. So try it out. Let us know what you think.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you again, Ryan, for joining us.
Hey, thanks, Ryan.
Stay tuned in. We'll be doing more interviews and such on the channel going forward. So thanks, everybody. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.